Hello, this is Catherine Kirby with Creative You Podcasts, and today is July 18th. We have sunshine outside and it just started raining, and I'm waiting to see if we get a rainbow. So this is a knitting and crocheting podcast. My little dog is in the room with me, so you might hear her eating. She's a very picky eater, and we have to put her back here by herself, or the other dogs will just come in and take the food. So other news with my dogs. My big dog's not doing very well, Hartley. Some of you have been with me since I got him a year and a half ago. He was 12 plus. They thought he'd be a hospice dog, and he turned around and did great, but he's going off by himself and laying around a lot. And I was reading up on that, and it said a dog's instinct is to protect itself. If it's not feeling well or it has pain, it will go off by itself and remove itself. Now, I don't know if I showed this before, but I'll show it again. What I did, I took 2 skeins of a chunky yarn that didn't seem like they would go together. Let me see if I can get a little bit more light in here. And oh, hold on. That only works for a minute. So I took, 2 colors that I didn't think would go very good together. And I did 2 rows of one and then 2 rows of the other. And if you look at them, they really don't look like they would go together. But I just did a garter stitch, and it's almost like a marled effect. And I was very happy with it. I like it a lot. I could have kept going and made it double, but just doing a shop sample, and I guess if I blocked it, it would be a lot longer. So I wish I could say that I finished all the projects that I showed you on the last podcast. Oh, dream away. But what I did do is get out unfinished projects and got them finished. I got my grandson's little gold vest done, which was a Knitting Pure and Simple pattern, and that's on my Facebook page if you want to see it, Creative You. I finished Short Notice by Tiaga Hillard, which is a top down with the buttons along the side, so you don't have to struggle to get it over the baby's head. This is Euro Maple in the chunky, and I think it's really important to go down 1 or more needle sizes when you do the top and the bottom, because these really curl. And what I had to do is kind of crochet them under, or they both really stuck out and looked terrible. Even now that still has some curl. But it's a fun pattern. I liked it a lot. I would like to try it in some other yarns. I like the striping. This is a polyester yarn, and yet it washes up really nice and soft. And I think this is a 6-month size. And that is a free pattern. My grandson's sweater, he's gonna love this. This is again the Knitting Pure and Simple Children's Henley, and I'm almost finished, and I misplaced my pattern, and I want the decreases to be the same. So I think I'm gonna hold off rather than rip it out. And this is a really nice cotton yarn in a DK weight, and I think it's gonna be nice and comfortable. He was so happy last night when I gave him the vest, because I'm ashamed to say it's probably been a year since I started that. And even though the heat index here is really high in Pennsylvania, today it's 108, he wanted to put it on right away over his shirt and wear it home. So, oh well. Hey Sandy, you want to come and say hi? Yeah, come here. Come here. So this is Sandy. Sandy's an old lady. She'll be 15 in January. She's a sweetheart. She goes to the yarn shop with me, And she would never let me hug her or hold her until my friend Holly brought in her tiny little Pomeranian puppy. And now I can hug her and hold her all that I want. The effecto shawl, AFETOS. Now I actually made mine smaller because I wanted it to be a one skein project. This is a gradient yarn called Sfumato. It's a name that had to do with gradient painting back in the time of Leonardo da Vinci. So you can see my light purple, my medium, and my dark. And I saw that other people had made this same shawl with this yarn, and I liked their results. It's not blocked yet. And so I like it too. It's a cotton yarn in a worsted weight. And I am very, very happy with it. Very happy. It feels nice and light and springy. I like the lace work. Now I heard a woman say today, and she's an experienced knitter, oh, I don't knit lace. I think a lot of people think it's harder than what it is, or they think you have to do it on little tiny needles. Not so. If you can yarn over and knit two together, you can do lace. So that is the effecto shawl. I wonder how people come up with these names. You know, the names of medications, the names of patterns, to come up with something that's so unique that no one else has a pattern by that name. I would think that's a little bit hard. Sometimes just dropping a letter off a word or whatever. If you love to read Christian books, this is a wonderful book, A Shepherd Looks at Psalm 23 by Philip Keller. And it's an older book. He tells you from a shepherd's perspective what Psalm 23 means. Like, for example, when God prepares a table before your enemies, the tableland is the choicest grassland, but you have to go way, way up. You have to go through a land rich with your predators to get to that land. It's just a wonderful book. You'll never look at Psalm 23 again without thinking about all the things he told you. On another note, I watched some good movies. Our House with, I can't think of the actress. Her last name is Robert. She's an older lady. Was she in Everybody Loves Raymond? I'm not sure. But anyway, it's a wonderful movie about an older lady that lives in a big house with 7 bedrooms and has an encounter with the homeless, and it totally changes her life. Of course, the neighbors aren't happy, her daughter's not happy, but she has never been happier. I watched Beauty again with Alina Turner. She's a beautiful actress. She played Leave It to Beaver's mother in the Leave It to Beaver movie. She's a beautiful actress with all kind of amazing things she does with her voice. I just love watching her, and I liked watching how Holbrook act. And there's been some other good movies I've watched. I took Hidden Places over to watch with my 96-year-old neighbor, Cree. She loved it. It's a very old-fashioned movie set back around World War I about a woman that can't pay the bills, can't get the farm work done, and then a hobo comes along. She must have told me 5 times, oh, I just enjoyed that so much. And I took an old movie over to watch with her. She used to have a St. Bernard. I used to have St. Bernards. It's called George. And it's set in the Swiss Alps, and it's about a pilot whose sister, hey, come here, ships her his St. Bernard. And he doesn't want it, and George gets into all kinds of trouble. Every time you turn around, he's shelling out money. But, hey, come here, Sandy. Excuse me a minute. But the dog, she wants up on the bed, does work himself into the man's heart, and it's really neat to watch. This is Myndie, Myndi. It's a pay pattern. Now, I thought that I would never finish up this little ball of yarn. I couldn't sleep last night. I was still up at 7. I really wanted to finish it, and this ball of yarn just didn't seem to get any smaller. But I kept thinking that I made it wrong, because there's your decrease line. And this is Knitting Fever Painted Desert in the angelic colorway. So they kind of broke their color palette when they brought out this yarn. It's supposed to be, I think, 92 inches long after I block it. It's pinks and blues and creams. The pattern was very easy to memorize, but the reason why I thought I did it wrong is that when you look at the pattern, it goes down like that in the back. Well, seems kind of crazy, but she's telling you that you block the shape into it and you pull the ends up. So I'll show it to you again the next time, and it's fingering weight yarn. So it's actually a 100% washable wool, and it's a $13 project. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens when I block it. My ends are curling up. We'll just see the magic of either seam blocking or blocking. This was done by a customer of mine. If you remember the granny square blanket that I edged for her, her mother had this unique way of putting together granny squares and chaining chains of single crochet and winding them through the block. So she did the same, and she asked me to put an edging on it for her. So I'm finishing that up right now. Because it's been so hot, we've been having a lot of wicked storms here. In fact, thunder so loud that the one afternoon I was taking a nap and I thought the dogs pulled down heavy furniture. Marcus, the new dog, who's diabetic and blind, he just goes off barking. So we had a night where we had storms all night and he barked all night. So I'm trying to get the pine Barrens beanie finished. And it seems like because I put it down and lose my momentum, I rip out more than I get done. It's a pay pattern on Ravelry. And this is Miski yarn, which is baby llama and a worsted weight. And hopefully this will be done soon. This is a pattern by Benjamin Matthews. It's $6. And this yarn is super soft, so it will be very nice to get that finished. What you think, Sandy? What do you think, honey? So I've been working on some crochet pocketbooks. I have some students that are working on the Daisy Fields bag that I showed you last time. I think I showed you this last time too. This is a cotton yarn with reddish brown, gold, and a yarn called Juliet in like blues and oranges that just didn't sell. So I'm putting them together. Woo! I'm putting them together, and wow, this doesn't show its color at all. This is actually very pretty, but my orange and blues aren't filming at all. If you want to crochet a bag, it's not very hard. Decide on your length, single or double crochet along one side, do extra stitches on the end, come down the other side and extra stitches on the end. Decide how long you want your bottom to be, and then do a row in the back loop only. So just to give it some lines and some interest, I'm doing a row of double crochet in the back loop and then a row of half double and single in both loops, just to give it that line pattern. And I'm doing decreases every few rows, and then I'll have to figure out how I want to finish it off. It's all cotton yarn, and hopefully that'll be finished soon too. And then what is next? I'm not used to podcasting on the bed. I wonder what all of you are doing in this summer. It's been extremely hot. I have always been a cold person, and since I went through the change, I am always hot. It's just so different for me. I am hot, sweaty, and my husband is at a phase in his life where he's colder. Wow. So today I got home from the shop. It's kind of been a long week, and I said to Paul, I think this is a Brewster's Day. Brewster's ice cream is, about 3/4 of a mile down the street, and we get a quart and we get 3 different flavors, and blending those flavors together with just a slice of your spoon, it's so good. Even flavors you wouldn't think go together. Well, while we were there, they have a bench that sits back in under a tree, and I saw a figure. I don't know if my eyes are getting bad or what, but I saw a figure. I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman, and I couldn't tell what they kept rubbing. Is it a baby, a child, another person? And they had on like a long off-white robe, and it, like I said, it's 108 heat index today. I walked over, I saw a bag of clothes. I didn't see any water. It turned out it was a woman. And I said to her, are you okay? And she said, yeah. And I said, do you need anything? And she said, no. And I said, would you like me, to buy you something? And she said, yeah, I'll take a sundae. So when she got up, I saw more of this long robe with like a heavy fabric, and she had clothes underneath that. And we walked over for her to get her sundae, and she said, I'm new here. I just came here from Baltimore County. And I said, do you have a place to stay? And she said, no, not presently. So I told her some resources, and I asked the employee, and they said, well, she's been here all day. And I said, well, where are you going to sleep tonight? She said, I'll just sleep on the bench. And she said, well, I have a question for you. I said, okay. She said, where can I get a knapsack? And I said, well, Walmart's right there. No, not Walmart. I want a specialty store. And I was kind of at a loss for words. She didn't look like she had any money. So she's on my mind now. I think I'll take some water down later. You can take a jug, fill it 2/3 full, freeze it, and then it will just gradually thaw out. But I know if you call 211, you get United Way, and they can help it. She didn't seem like she wanted to be in a shelter. Well, this would be a big project for me. It's called Big Sister. Let's see if you can see that sweater. It has pockets down the side, like diagonal pockets, and it's by Hinterm Stein. It's done with an Aran weight yarn, and the construction is, this is Misty wool by Elspeth Lavold. Really funny. I started out here, and then I think went over here. I forget. It's just, I'm not a designer at this point. So this is all I have finished. The yarn is Tweety. They call it Misty. So this will be a slow project. I watched the Knitting Posse, and I don't know how those ladies get the amount of knitting done that they get done. I've also been watching all the shows from Attached Strings. It's a mother-daughter. I really enjoyed them a lot. I enjoyed seeing all the things she made her babies when she was pregnant with twins, and then after they came, just seeing all the things that she made for them, and then you get to see them wearing them. Her mother sews and quilts. It's been a lot of fun watching them, a lot of fun. So, do I have anything else to show you for this week? I've decided I'm going to do the Soldotna. I mean, it's a very popular pattern. I think just about everybody has seen this. People that make it say it's a very, very fast knit. And a lot of people that make it want to do more than one. So I spent a lot of time picking out my colors. This is, I'm sorry, it seems dark in here and it shouldn't be. I guess it's because of the rain. Picked out kind of like a mulberry for my dark color. And then a pink and a deeper pink and then a white. So I just cast it on, and we shall see how fast it goes. So we had a mobile vet come to our house, which is a new experience for us. We have the big dog Hartley, we have Marcus now, the diabetic dog, we have the little dog, we have a calico cat named Patches, and an outdoor-indoor cat, a big Himalayan cat named Mac. Well, they all congregated in the living room, all 5 of them. This just never happens. And they were all just patiently waiting. He called, he said, I'm a half an hour late, and they all just waited. It was the strangest thing, like they knew. It's almost like they were gathered for a meeting. My husband and I just laughed. I was hoping that he would find something wrong with my big dog, but he didn't. I was hoping that he'd say, I felt a tumor or, but he said, I don't know. And I feel sorry for him. He pants a lot. He goes upstairs in the hot closet. It doesn't help that Marcus goes after him sometimes. And right in front of the vet, the big dog Hartley kept jumping up on the vet, jumping up, like saying, help me, help me. And he'll do that to us at night until he scratches our arms open. And we tried pain pills, anxiety pills, but to get him off the vet, I went and got a biscuit, but they're carbohydrate biscuits, and the diabetic dog Marcus can't have those. So I gave Marcus something different. Well, he followed Hartley in the living room and attacked him right in front of the vet. They were both fine, but the vet looked at me like that was stressful. So it seems like there's 2 triggers that set him off: food and me, being protective of me. So I wish there was an easier solution. If you haven't tried Lykke needles, I know they're usually on back order anymore, but I carry them. They come from Knitting Fever. They're birchwood instead of bamboo, and they're just sleek knitters. Yeah, very sleek. So I posted a cute little cartoon on my Facebook page, an elderly man holding onto his wife's hand, and he says, I have to hold her hand when we're out shopping or she'll buy a lot of yarn. So funny. So today at the end of the day, this cute little couple came into the shop. They're young, and he was teasing her. She has a lot of yarn. She used to work in a yarn shop. She has a bunch of projects. They're not finished. And they kind of made an agreement that she wouldn't buy more yarn until she finished her projects. But she saw this lime green skein of blue heron rayon metallic, and she just had to have it. So as they're leaving the shop, I hear him say, "You can hold that on the way home and pet it, but then I'll hold on to it till you get at least a project done." I thought it was so funny and so cute. So there are new knitters and new crocheters jumping in all the time, which is fun. It's fun for someone to learn how to crochet. I was excited because I had a mother and her 9-year-old daughter signed up for crochet classes this week, and they didn't show and they didn't return my call, and it made me sad. So I was really looking forward to having that experience with them, and kids pick up really, really fast. They do. It's amazing how fast they pick up crochet. I mean, before you're even finished explaining it, they're chaining away. Adults have a lot of trouble how to hold the tension and can have trouble chaining, and occasionally a person will throw in the towel right there. But I tell them it's a huge difference between week 1 and week 2. Week 1, somebody's all thumbs, and then week 2, they come in and they're just chaining away. So I had a child once, she was 7. She chained a whole ball of yarn. She had a bag and it was all just chain. And her mother said, "Well, use that ball, rip that apart to make your next project." No, I mean, that was her baby. So I don't know that I have anybody else or anything else to talk about. So I guess I'll see you the next time. I usually run about 30 minutes. It's 26 minutes. Thanks for all of you that watch. Thanks for new viewers. Welcome. And if you like me, ask your friends to watch. And I'll see you the next time. I also have a Juniper Moon trunk show at the shop. It's gorgeous. I'm waiting for the patterns to arrive, and then I will do a video on that. So keep the faith. Shine, baby, shine. Signing out. I'll see you the next time.